Good morning, afternoon, evening, in the middle of the night, wherever you're watching me in the internet's universe. I'm Jules, known to many as Kid Cuebas, known to many as Julian. Welcome back to Monday Mood. I feel like I post a lot of art every Monday because my art is good for a Monday. It's when you don't want to, but you have to. When you're feeling somber and angsty that the weekend's over, so you want to lament about all your problems and challenges in front of you. That's the kind of vibe I give, the kind of mood I make per se. And thanks for being here with me this Monday. I appreciate you for that. So my partner and I, we like to do these things called reports, and they essentially are kind of the weekly upload and download to each other where we talk about what we're reading. So I'll just give you the criteria actually. So we got R, reading, E, eating, P, playing, O, obsessing, 5 is R, recommending, and finally T is treating, how we're treating ourselves. So feel free to drop in the comments your report as well if you want to share it with the audience, if you want to share with me. I'll look at what you're doing in your daily that helps you get through it. So for me, reading, I just finished reading, I just finished reading The Hunger Games. Shortly after finishing reading Sunrise on the Reaping, it kind of brought me right back into The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is this universe where I feel like in the multiverse theory, like Star Wars is a galaxy and a universe far away from ours with many different laws and concepts and physics and things that are completely different than our own. Well, Hunger Games, I feel like, is a multiverse that is maybe one or two jumps over. It's very grounded in reality and possibility. There's not magics to it, really just a lot of our universe. If things turned out differently, if things turned out to where our capital controls our resources and the flow of resources from district to district, state to state, etc. And so I'm fascinated and obsessed with the Hunger Games, and there's a lot of humanity in it because, the price that we pay is generally younger generations paying for it when, politicians of different ages are doing what they're going to do and doing what thou wilt. And with the Hunger Games, I love Katniss's character because she's conflicted constantly, but she always has the strength and bravery to not flinch in the face of death or fear because she knows it so well. She's a hunter. She's, now been hunted in the arena. She all around is an empowering being and a being that I learn a lot from because at the end of the day, the worst that can happen is we're going to die, and anything worse than that would be living in fear for the rest of your life, and we'd rather die swiftly than die in fear over the course of 50 years and be subdued by it. And so that's the books I'm reading right now. I think I'm going to pick up Catching Fire. I have been dabbling in Lord of the Flies. I'm about 75 pages deep. It's kind of like a predecessor of the Hunger Games where these British boys get crash landed on an island and they kind of are working and trying to build a society themselves, but it's failing horribly because they're like 14 at the oldest, 6 at the youngest. So, a lot of kids really don't even care about trying to build a society. They're trying to play with sandcastles and eat good fruit and just live in the moment. And so they don't really, know what a better life is or how to build that better life or even how to maintain a civilization. So they're really just one big, clusterfuck on an island, to be totally honest with you. Right now it does read a little boring, I will say that. And so that's been lackluster. I do think that I'm going to finish it. However, it's something that as I'm reading and becoming an educator, that I don't know if it's something I would assign to my kids, to be honest, because it doesn't seem to have a quick draw. It doesn't seem really relatable to education or children in the 21st century. It does come off a bit boring, I think. And so I think I'll pass on that. Next is eating. Eating has been hard. I just moved to Atlanta from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we've been just kind of throwing together whatever works. However, recently, I think my favorite meal, if I had like one more meal before I died, I definitely would have a veggie supreme. It's a veggie calzone from Mellow Mushroom, and that's a pizza place. It's really popular like in the Southeast, and I would get their calzone, and I had pepperoni every time. And they use like a spring water. They use spring water for their dough, and I don't know what's in that spring water. If it's just the purity of the water and the selection of the dough that they use. That, and then the ricotta that they use is incredible as well. So that's what I've been eating. I greatly appreciate that meal, top to bottom. If you haven't had that combination specifically, I'd recommend that. I'm playing a lot. I have a few weeks off in between teaching summer school and then becoming an educator at my current school. So I've been hanging out. I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40K. It's a tabletop war game set in a very dystopian sci-fi future where every race of alien is at an eternal, endless war with one another. And humans are kind of at the center of that as well. But humans are not good guys. Humans are equally as power hungry. They're like religious zealots and all controlled, by some overlords. It's a blast to play. I've been doing my first run through of Skyrim because when I was little, my older brother Rad, my little sis Sam, and my younger brother Will, they would always be on the game. So Skyrim was like a 5 or a 6 hour wait in order to play it. So I just kind of gave up playing it, and I would continue just to play World of Warcraft. It was easier. Now that I'm playing Skyrim, I like it a lot. However, sometimes I'm a little bored because I feel like there's just a lot of running. I feel like the quests are really far apart, and that's some of the beauty of it because you stumble into a lot of stuff and you don't know what you stumble into, and that direction means that you can explore it for yourself. But the map is so ginormous. Sometimes I feel like all I did was run around for 30 minutes, and there's a balance between that discovery mode and something happening. However, right now I'm going through the companions quest line, so I think I'm about to become a werewolf. I've been a vampire because I got bit by one, not by choice, and that's just kind of bugged me because during the day my stats are weakened. I've been playing with my dog, Aria. She's right here. We go out and play ball a lot. I'm living right next to Centennial Park right now, and it's great for her because this is the closest she's ever had to a backyard, which is huge because a lot of times in city living and apartment life, the dog gets short-sighted. But with all the time I've had off, she's playing ball twice a day, and I'm getting to tend to her very carefully and clearly, and that really brings a lot of wellness and peace to my mind. I've been playing some Baldur's Gate 3 with my fiance, Cordy. Hi, Cordy. And we're about to finish the game. This will be, I think we're like 60-something hours deep into our campaign. I'm almost 200 hours played altogether because I play with Dupree, and I've played a lot by myself as well, almost 2 run-throughs by myself. It's a magnificent game, majestic, well-designed. The variability in the game makes me feel like, I don't remember this part constantly. And it'll be the first game that Cord and I finished together. We've been together about 5.5 years. We dabbled in a bunch of games, but we never hard finished one. So we're really looking forward to crossing the finish line on this one together. So that's what I've been playing. Let's get down to the longest, though, to me, and that's obsessing. Be passionate. Obsess over something. Be happy you're obsessing over something. Make sure it's not intentionally causing harm to others or unintentionally causing harm to yourself with obsessions. But I think obsession is just another word for passion. And what am I passionate about right now? And I'd say Warhammer 40K. I've been dreaming of playing it since I was 12 years old. I believe in making games accessible for everybody from all backgrounds. and these games can be quite inaccessible because of some of the core members of their community sometimes. And a good example of that is like some of the people in Magic the Gathering who will just play a bunch of infinity combos, or Dungeons and Dragons, who think that like people who don't look like them shouldn't play the game, things like that, where people gatekeep these games. I want to bust the floodgate open and show how just a blast these games are for all walks of life, because it really has been hard for me to get into 40K. But fortunately, once I moved to Atlanta, they've got a really great scene here. I linked up with a friend named John. It was our first time meeting, and we immediately hit it off. So it gave me a good feeling, and we had fun playing. I played about 4 games now, and I'm obsessed with the miniature elements. I'm obsessed with painting them because it brings me zen and peace, and I need that more than ever. I think we all need things that help us find zen and just allow us to tune out a lot of the static on the TV, and turn our own TVs off, most definitely. So I've been greatly appreciating Warhammer 40K for doing that, and it's a physical game. It's in the physical world where you have to link up with people in order to play it. Sometimes I feel like online games aren't as intimate because you wind up just zoning out a little hard on the game and forgetting that you're playing with people. And so this feels like a nice remedy to that. I've been obsessing over How I Met Your Mother as well. I'm in my late 20s now. That show was coming out when I was in my teens, like early teens, and the romance plot was what I really focused on, is like finding your great love, finding your one love, that being a powerful force and a powerful source. That's really nice. As I've grown up, I kind of feel like Ted Mosby got really pretentious for me, and he's definitely an asshat, He is kind of a New Yorker through and through in that regard. And yeah, so I just have been watching through that. That's been exceptional. And what I realized is watching in my late 20s is how crucial it has been to watch it, because things start happening in life that change everything. Like, I quit my job at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and I thought I had a plan, which was to make my own business. And when I went to do that, I lost the spirit of what business I was trying to create, which was a production career, when in reality I'm an artist, I'm a personality. I want to be in front of the people, I want to be in front of the microphone, I want to talk, I want to make an impact through these media streams and these media platforms. I want to help teach loving compassion. I don't just want to serve other people's voices. And I love making music with my friends. We make tons of it. I still produce, but right now it's producing in a lot of ways, a lot of visual content, a lot of me in front of the screen content. And I'm working on a beat pack that one of my dear friends, Andretti, sent me. Just a stand-up guy, an eccentric, surreal producer, someone I miss greatly while I'm in Atlanta. And so obsessing over the fact that like this show is really helping me navigate and accept some of the things that have been happening as I've transitioned out of my early mid-20s, where some things just don't matter. Like getting that big label deal doesn't matter as much to me anymore. Getting that vanity of all those streams and numbers don't matter so much anymore. I'm creating new priorities for myself, and that's like a stable, loving family, and making art or media that's impactful and helps make a difference and helps inspire people and helps other people keep shining brightly, instead of feeling the need to validate myself over and over again. I think those things have become more of a priority to me, and watching it reflected on a screen of other people in their late 20s going through the same thing, it's really taught me a lot quickly. I'm appreciating this downtime. Obsessing again over Star Wars. Right now I'm working on a chronological step by like each series all the way up. So I've done Acolyte, I've done 1, 2, and 3. I've done Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi this last week, Tales of the Empire now. I'm about to switch to Tales of the Underworld after this. And people can talk about the quality dips or whatever they want, or criticize Star Wars all that they want, but the concepts are still rock solid. And that's the Force being with and without you, within you and without you, the Force being an amorphous energy that ebbs and flows between all forms of consciousness, both complex and primitive, and how impactful the value of not falling to fear and hate and anger truly is into fighting, authoritarian or repressive systems that feel like it stifles your true nature, your creativity, and to fight for the empowerment of others. Like, those stories are still there. They're right there. And all the clowning and criticism in the world can't take it away from those stories. And, we don't remember the critics so much as we remember the artists. A critic might help discover somebody. They might add or take away to someone's relevance, but they're not the relevance itself. They're not the art itself. Yeah. Recommending everything I'm obsessing over. However, I'm recommending peace. I'm recommending tranquility. Find your peace and tranquility. Don't worry so much about what other people think about you, or how your life is going, or how it stacks up to your expectations of yourself, because in a way our lives are unraveling in front of us. I have always wanted to be an educator, and I've always been an educator. I've been a student and someone who educates my whole academic career. I did not foresee me becoming an educator this quickly. However, like I said, my values and what I want out of life has changed, and I continue to pursue an art career, but I also want to make an impact and want to help the world gain, better critical thinking skills, and to help teach younger generations how to arm themselves against propaganda, or teach them how to think around things, not what to think about things, And so I cherish that I get to be that, and that I am helping future generations with that. It brings me meaning and purpose so much without desperately needing my art to succeed, to be honest. And I'm treating myself by not being a workaholic during my time off. I'm doing the creative things that matter to me. I'm doing the things that feel right to me. Like today, the mood is just to post up, my Monday mood in the form of a vlog, and to enjoy each sentence that I'm sharing with passion, and to do an exercise that my fiance and I like to do to improve our communication and share what we're really enjoying about life, or share some things that are harder about life. Because sometimes the things that I'm obsessing over are my finances, and focusing on how broke I am in relation to how much debt I have. It's not always obsessing over something positive, and talking about that through a report can really help me let it go in the long run. So I'm treating myself by being one with the universe and enjoying each moment of the time off I have, because I'm going to be busier than I've ever been soon. So that's the report. I hope you're taking care of yourself. If you got to the end of this video, I love you. Thank you. Please keep doing what you do, and do it the best you're able. And if that means you need to take some rest to get there, rest until you feel ready again. Take care of those basic needs: housing, food, water, exercise, and build from there. Wishing peace to you. It's been a Monday mood. Y'all take it easy. It's Jules.